Good evening and welcome to the 41st episode. Last time I had covered how to calculate your big happy average C and average R scores. Obviously, I did that for myself and I rounded off my numbers to the closest single digit so I can remember it easily. I have a C score of 4 and R score of 7, which makes me R dominant with a bit of C in it. Now, the next thing to do is to look at the pattern in the top 10 big happy moments. And in my case, the words helping, enabling, mentoring others came up as a good pattern. With that, I was able to construct my Ikigai as to help people improve themselves, of course, including myself. Now, Kumaran had developed a process for intention orientation and he had this beautiful idea of a magic word, boiling your Ikigai and intention down to a single word so that you can remember it easily. Now, in my case, the word improving was the first thing that occurred to me when I looked at this Ikigai, and so that's my magic word. It gives me a lot of power and energy when I think about this word. So, like this, you can also choose a word that gives you power. In Tiny Magic, each of us have our names modified like this. Kumaran is loving Kumaran, I am improving Sukumar, and so on. One of my mentees came up with this Ikigai to help people solve problems in a creative manner. Another mentee came up with to learn new skills and behaviors and concepts from every success and failure and also enable others to do the same. So like this you can develop your own Ikigai. Now that you have developed your Ikigai, so what? I believe that we can use our Ikigai to imbue our life with happiness, and I'm going to give you a simple example from my life. Now in the kitchen I can make a meal, I can wash dishes, I can do many things, but I actually hate making coffee. So in my family, my wife usually makes the coffee in the morning and gives it to me. On Sundays, she wakes up a little bit late, so my coffee is delayed. And when I pointed this out to her a few times, she retorted rightfully that why can't you make your own coffee? Now I would give her some excuse, but never did it because I hated that task. Now with this improving Sukumar and R dominance, I decided to tackle that task. On a Saturday, unbeknownst to her, I figured out where the milk was, coffee was, got up Sunday morning, made a piping hot of coffee, cup of coffee and woke her up with it. And she went delirious with joy. Now obviously I made a cup for myself, so my problem was also solved. But then every Sunday I started making it for her and I look forward to that. So a task went from hating to absolutely loving it. So I've imbued that task with happiness with my Ikigai. Now let's say you are C dominant instead of R dominant. You can look at it as how do I make a better coffee? What does the best coffee look like? What are the various kinds of coffee I can try? So I believe that any task can be looked at from a C perspective or an R perspective depending on what your dominance is. So that way you can imbue any task with happiness, and that is the concept of the tiny shift, which I explained in episodes 8 and 9 that Kumaran came up with this original idea of a tiny shift. In sum, we focus on who we are and what makes us happy, and from there we imbue whatever it is that we want to do with happiness. Because whatever it is that you want to do, whatever you want to achieve, there are going to be tasks in that you love to do, which is easy, you can do that. But there are going to be things that you don't like to do also. So you can imbue those tasks also with happiness using your Ikigai. With that, I thank you all for listening to my coverage of inferring your Ikigai, and I wish you all the best in discovering your own Ikigai and imbuing your life with happiness. If there are any questions or comments, please chime away.